Napoleon actually discovered this in 1801 in Egypt. And this Rosetta Stone has 3 different languages on it. It has Egyptian hieroglyphics, and it also has Greek on it. And it all says the same thing. So the hieroglyphics, the Demotic script, and then the Greek, I think, is at the bottom here. These things say the same thing. So you know what this was? This was the key to figuring out what all these languages mean, because we knew what Greek meant, and so then we could figure out what the others meant. They're saying the same thing. So it's really, that's why, you know, there's this company out there called Rosetta Stone. You know why they're using that? Because now you can figure out what all these languages mean. Or you can learn the language. We learned the language through the Rosetta Stone. Well, if this is true, then what created the Rosetta Stone? A mind of some kind, right? If you can't make this connection, then you don't know what created the Rosetta Stone. You could say, could natural forces do this? Not based on our prior experience to say wind, rain, and erosion could have done this. This is the question you need to ask them. What natural laws or natural forces produce messages? Do you know of anyone that does? Does gravity produce a message? Gravity can cause snow to fall, but gravity cannot write your name and address in the snow. Right? Do the strong and weak nuclear forces create messages? What natural force creates a message? This is the question they will not answer. And this is what I said to Stephen. I said, Stephen, why don't these atheists claim you're wrong, simply answer this question from a naturalistic perspective? If they could answer this question from a naturalistic perspective, your case would be over. They can't. What do they say instead? It's nonsense. It's religion. It's crap. They just belch insults because there is no answer to this question. A message is positive information for a mind. Has anyone ever heard of this guy, Antony Flew? And that's the way you spell his name. It's not Anthony, it's Antony. Anyone ever heard of this guy? He wasn't as bombastic as Richard Dawkins, but he is probably 20 years older than Richard Dawkins. He literally was the top philosophical atheist of the last century. This guy has written dozens of books on atheism. In fact, he was so esteemed, he even wrote in the Encyclopedia of Philosophy. I mean, he's just a scholar. And in 2004, after over 50 years of writing that atheism was true, he finally decided that he was going to be a theist. It seems to me that the findings of more than 50 years of DNA research have provided materials for a new and enormously powerful argument to design. What do you think the atheistic colleagues, who for so many years considered him a hero, how do you think they treated him after he said this? Crap, nonsense, religion, right? They basically just called him senile. And he went on to say, I'm not senile. In fact, this guy did not become a Christian. He didn't even believe in the afterlife. So it wasn't like an older man trying to get fire insurance before checking out. He just said, following the evidence where it leads. And the evidence leads back to some kind of intelligence. He's just being honest. He wrote a book. It said, There is no God, and the title of the book, it's crossed out, No, there is a God.